Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pay for College, where we're all about helping you to avoid crazy student loan debt. Hi, it's Tanika. We're back here, your scholarship coach, and I'm so excited to be able to talk to you about something. Now, first of all, first things first, happy Black History Month. It is February 1st of 2023, and I get this question very often. And I wanted to address it today and try to give you some context for those who this relates to. The question for today is, do HBCUs give money for school? I know a lot of people are saying they have heard that HBCUs do not give money for school. There's no point even applying to them. And you're probably wondering, is that true? So we're going to talk about it today. So the very first thing out the gate, we have to define what an HBCU is for so many of you who may be joining and have no idea what an HBCU is. An HBCU is a historically Black college or university where students, that is not just exclusive to African American students, but the history of the school is that these institutions were awarded or made it possible for African Americans to gain an education when they were no longer allowed or not even allowed to attend other institutions. So HBCUs are all throughout the country. There are currently 101 HBCUs. 50 of those are public institutions and 51 of those are private institutions. And again, all students are able to attend them from a number of different states. So why would this concept be talking about? When we say, do HBCUs provide money? What they're talking about is scholarships. Right? They're talking about money. Now, this whole page is about paying for school and to avoid student loan debt. And so it's very fitting that I would get the question, do HBCUs actually give students money? They're hearing that they do not. Well, it's very important that we talk about this for a number of different reasons. Now, why would a school give a student a scholarship? Well, one, they earned it. Yes, right? So what is earning? So there are different definitions of what earned means by every different institution. That's not different from HBCUs as well. So rather you've gotten a certain GPA, your test scores, you've gotten involved in a number of different organizations throughout your high school, you were able to really market yourself to the institution that you have earned that money. So no matter what school you go to, you should absolutely go to those websites and see what is it or how can I be eligible for an institutional scholarship based on their criteria. Okay, so that's very, very important. The second thing we have to know is that schools usually do fundraising or some donor relationships with alumni. So it's very important that you have an active alumni. What's an alumni? Alumni is someone who's already graduated from school. They went there, they had the great time, and they loved it so much that they're coming back and they are actually giving to the school to help other students also have a very unique or special experience. So there are some institutions that may have a higher alumni engagement than others. Now that all varies, and it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be monetary. Okay, so there could be a lot of alumni engagement and not necessarily be monetary engagement. But since this page is about paying for school, that monetary engagement is a huge deal. So if you're going to an HBCU who does not have a high monetary alumni donor base, that could be a factor in why they may have given a limited amount of scholarship dollars towards you for school. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is just the structure of it, right? So you have public institutions and you have private institutions. Public institutions could receive state aid or state funding. So therefore, it makes it a little easier for schools to be able to offer additionally more scholarship or more financial support to students who are attending based on the state aid they're giving. Private schools is a whole different ballgame. They have to do the fundraising themselves the entire time. They have to get partnerships. They have to do all these things just to make sure not only that you get to go to the school, but also that the school keeps up to date and has infrastructure and all of those different things. So all of that could also affect the amount of aid that you can get, not only from an HBCU, but any institution. Now, since we're talking about HBCUs, it's very important, and most people will not discuss this. I want to make sure that's clear to you. A lot of people will tell you, maybe if a counselor has said, don't even bother applying, they're not going to give you any financial aid. And that's really alarming to me and also very discomforting, because you're pretty much telling you to not go for an experience that you might really want to go to or have an experience because of financials. Now, obviously, finances are a huge deal. But one of the aspects that always get overlooked is that you're assuming that all the aid or the support to go to that HBCU has to come from the school. Now, one of the greatest treasures or benefits of attending an HBCU are the supporters outside of the school to HBCUs. Did you hear me? This includes scholarships, this includes or organizations who want to donate to students who are attending an HBCU specifically. So if you are attending or thinking about attending an HBCU, don't just think about, oh my gosh, the school didn't give me any money, and so therefore I knew it, the HBCU doesn't give me any financial aid. Well, again, depends on one, did you earn the criteria based on the criteria that was given? Two, do they have an alumni base that gives in a monetary form? And if neither of those two were the case, the greatest thing is there are so many organizations who are supporting HBCUs and students who want to attend an HBCU through scholarships and support. So things like United Negro College Fund, Thurgood Marshall College Fund, a lot of Black sororities and fraternity organizations, a lot of local organizations, a lot of businesses will only award scholarships for students who are attending HBCUs. So there is not a shortage of money to help you get to the school of your choice. So don't let people think to you or tell you to not consider a school because of a history or what they heard about finances. There are a lot of people supporting HBCUs, and if you want to go, then you should go. Okay, everyone, that's that. So I hope that answered that question. If you have any additional questions, just put it in the chat here. I'd be happy to address them. But just know, if you want to go to any institution, it's super important that you apply for scholarships, no matter what school you go to, whether you get a good and a large amount of scholarship support or not. This is your education. And of course, the goal is for you to avoid a lot of student loan debt. So do the best benefit for yourself. Go where you would love to go, but also make sure you're doing the work to avoid the student loan to get there. All right. See you later.